In this video, I'll be doing a brief demo of Smart Pricing Table and what our software has to offer. With this demo, I'm going to start with this sample proposal here from the view of your prospect. This is what they'd see if they were to get a proposal from you on our platform. I'll note that you can put whatever information you'd like on the proposal, biographical information, perhaps you want to include terms, cover letter, executive summary, whatever. What makes our product really different, though, and why folks tend to love us, is this scope of work table. So let me point out a few things. The first thing is that prices are dynamic and they hook to the top. So you can see that as your prospect makes selections, they have a running total up here. Line items open and close so you can get into more detail without overwhelming your prospect. You need enough detail to avoid scope creep, but you also don't want a wall of text. And so that's why we go with this format. You can do optional items, and you determine what and how much is optional. There's a quantity feature. And one of our most loved features is individual line item configurations. So you can see here, I have this line item, and there's options that the prospect can select based on their desire and their budget. What's really nice about this particular layout and this setup is that it really kicks in some FOMO when your prospect sees things that are not selected, but they'd like to have. They then work the price up and have greater ownership. There's so much more about this feature, but I don't want this video to be too long. All right, next up, cost TBD, inline discounts and credits. You can also do included or free, or you can remove the label altogether. Of course, we support recurring fees. And then here's an example of a more complex line item with both a one-time and a recurring fee, all in the same line item. I should mention that there's a lot of line items in this proposal because it's an example. A lot of the proposals on our system are a little bit simpler. They don't need to have all these features turned on. Finally, I'd like to point out the ability to do cool line items like a rush fee. In this case, it's an optional rush fee where the agency or the supplier, the company is saying, we'll finish your project 30 days early or 30 days sooner. And then 12-month financing. This one's really cool. It's an option for additional 10%. It even breaks down the one-time total and what the payment cost would be on a monthly basis. And you can see that as your prospect makes selections, these numbers are updating as well. Super powerful. All right, the next thing in the demo is I'd like to jump on the back end and show you a proposal, show you this proposal on the admin side. So here I have it open in admin so I can edit it. And I'll note that you can change any of the content you'd like. You could add a new page from the library or a blank page. And then the scope of work is super efficient. One of the big ideas with our system, or one of the concepts that it capitalizes on, is the idea of productizing your offering. Instead of taking line items from over here and from this old proposal and kind of Frankensteining them together, instead you create reusable line items and store them in a library. So I just clicked plus here. I searched for blog, and it found this because I previously saved it. I can now click on it and add it instantly. All of the previous forethought that I put into this, this proposal inherits. But of course, because every project is different, I can also customize this. Maybe I adjust the price, add an additional parameter, and I could even pre-select some of the configurations based on the sales call. Now I can do all of this without affecting my original source line item. You can think of that as kind of your system, and this is execution. You can also add blank line items that don't exist yet. And you can save line items to the library. If you've defined something you really like and you're thinking, why are we not selling this more? You can do that. Editing's really easy. I'll note that we support images, videos, tables, and dynamic content such as the company name or your prospect's contact. Lots of settings over here, including frequency. And then configurations go under the modifications tab. I like to point out that you can do a negative, and that will actually create a credit. And in this case, it's an optional credit. Imagine this is something that they're agreeing to do for cost savings, or maybe they're pre-agreeing to a case study, assuming the project goes well. All right. Under settings, I won't show this, but we have a simple way to add a one-time discount or a discount to the recurring. There's also a surcharge fee, which allows you to increase a proposal by a certain percentage. Sometimes at my old company, we would use this to increase the price due to a customer being higher maintenance, or a project being high risk, or you're just in high demand. All right, there's also design options. You can control colors, backgrounds, fonts, and of course the logo. There's a preview built in. So this shows you exactly what your prospect will see, including a mobile toggle. So works and functions great on phones. And then another feature that our customers tend to really love is our spin on analytics. So how it works is you'll get an email notification if your prospect opens your proposal, but we also will keep a log of what pages they click on and how they interact with your scope of work table or your pricing table. So imagine seeing that they opened up the project kickoff call, they clicked on on-site meeting, and made some other adjustments, maybe 2 weeks after you last talked to them. So super helpful, super valuable from a sales perspective, especially with follow-up. You can see interactions right here that were logged. I'll note that this is our demo account, so it's super noisy. A typical proposal, you might see 5 or 10 things logged per session. All right, I have about 2 minutes left here on my demo. Line items can be saved to this reusable library, and you can provide categories. There's also a templating system built in. A lot of our customers will have like a master template, and they just put their whole catalog in the template and then delete what doesn't apply. But you can also have project-specific templates, and templates get their own collection of pages, their own line items. And so you can imagine you can really set things up so that generating a specific type of proposal can go really fast. You can even have separate terms for a different project. Last thing I'm going to do is create a proposal. So I simply choose a template. You'll note that our app goes blazing fast. It already created the proposal based on the template, but it's its own instance. You can change whatever you like here, and it's just its own independent copy. I should note that the cover page by default can automatically pull in things like the user's role or their contact information. And so our app supports multiple salespeople. I could adjust some terms, maybe again add a section over here. And then on the scope of work, I like to just go top down. So looking at these different items, maybe this one they were kind of on the fence about, so I'll make it optional but selected. Instagram marketing, let's say that was a no-go. And this brand style guide, let's take that down to additional items for consideration. This section is really powerful. Adding a few potential upsells that they could be interested in, you'll be surprised how often people will click things simply because you put it on the table. You can also add a blank line item. And I always tell folks when you're creating something that doesn't exist yet, think of reuse from the get-go so you can save it to the library, add it back to one of your templates, and you can sell it very quickly and easily. Finally, you can send the proposal with an email through the app, or I can get a link. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to mark the proposal as sent manually. Now, while it's sent, and this is kind of unique to our platform, the proposal is completely open. You can fix embarrassing spelling errors. You can add new line items or collaborate with your prospect, perhaps on Zoom. It's completely open. It's not going to lock until either they press sign on their side or you press sign. At that point, it wraps everything up as a signable PDF and sends it out for e-signatures. Once that process is complete, it'll be marked as one automatically. All right, well, that's our quick demo. I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us at smartpricingtable.com, where we'd love to set you up with a free trial.